quality number 2, the law of influence. When this is what one thing that leaders have. Leaders are influential. Influence is it's basically just the power or the capacity to produce. Here, let me move this out of my way. Something I want to share with you guys. When you have influence, you are able to change people's lives. And some people will say, well, I don't care about influencing other people. Well, if you don't want to influence other people, you can't lead. You can't lead, and it's going to hinder your success very significantly. So influence is just the ability to produce a desired result. Do you want to produce a desired result? Of course, we all do. And what happens when we're talking about the law of influence is it basically simply stated is that the true measure of leadership is influence, period. Nothing more than that, nothing less. Influence is what helps fulfill the goals and the dreams of the leader. And without influence, a leader lacks the ammunition to reach the destination. How can you reach the destination if you don't have any influence? If no one ever cares what you have to say, no one ever wants to listen to what you have to say. And there's another quote that I know I've shared with some of you before that was really powerful for me. It was said to me by one of my mentors. Because I was getting some flack and some responses. You cannot be out there and putting yourself out there without getting responses from people that are negative. I would say 99% of all the responses I get from everyone, maybe even 99.8, are positive and awesome and supportive. And Teresa, thanks for all you do, all of those things. And some of them are very powerful stories of change that they were able to create in their lives because of some contribution that I made. And I love that. But guess what? I get the negative too. And I got a particularly hard one day. And one of my mentors said this to me. And they said it. And I remember thinking at the time, you're not seeming very sympathetic. You're not seeming very caring about the fact that I'm sad because somebody said this about me. And most of the time I'd gotten used to it. But this one was particularly hard. And it doesn't happen super often. But I remember this. They said it kind of flippantly, almost like, what's the big deal? But they didn't mean to be non-empathetic. But what they said was this. Well, people, if you're not getting flack, you have no influence. I want you to listen to that. I'm going to repeat it again. If you're not getting any flack from people, you have no influence. So if you're just swimming along with no rough tides in your waters, is it because you have no influence? If you have influence, people are paying attention. You're going to be changing lives, but you're also going to get people who sometimes just need answers to their questions. They're bugged about something you said because they've thought it was this way all along. And now you're challenging that belief and they don't like it. Well, guess what? Challenging each other's beliefs and values and talking about it, really getting deep and dirty into it. That's what makes us stop and think and decide what we value. So if you're not getting flack, it's because you have no influence. So why don't you have influence? If you don't have influence, there are different reasons why you don't have influence. And let me tell you what happens if you don't have influence, you might be doing one of these 7 things, or I should say you might not be doing one of these 7 things. There's 7 things that you can be looking for to increase your influence so that you can help more people. Number 1 is believe in yourself. That is the most important thing that you can do, is believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, why would anyone else believe in you? Number 2 is to treat people with respect. How many of you have ever seen someone who they've created this successful life and they treat people like dirt? Well, guess what? Their reputation precedes them, and their reputation creates or tears apart relationships and partnerships. And it's amazing what happens when you treat people with respect. When you treat other people with respect, then what's interesting is you treat them with respect because they are a human being and they deserve general respect. And when you do that, people admire you. When you really respect someone else, you're not doing it because you want admiration, but that is what retrofit, that's what happens. So the third one is to be genuine. Don't make stuff up. Don't try to be something you're not. Be real. Be yourself. Be honest about the things that you say. Don't say things you don't mean. Don't pretend to like things you don't like. Be genuine. Number 4 Show an interest in other people. Do we often get so busy that we're, just busy doing our thing and we're not even worried about what other people need or what they want or what their desires are? Show interest in other people. Number 5, speak politely. You might think that if you're treating with people with respect, then that includes speaking politely. It doesn't necessarily, because I might treat everyone with respect. But then if I'm in a group setting at a retreat and it's my turn to stand up and speak and say my opinion, and I speak rudely about any group of people, I might not be talking about anyone in the room. Let's say I'm with a group of entrepreneurs and I'm talking about people who are not entrepreneurs. And I'm saying they don't even understand and they don't let blah, blah, blah. And they just don't even get it. I'm speaking rudely about someone else. And that does not create influence. That does not create someone that people admire and respect and want to follow. Number 6 is smile more. Smile more. And if you're not a smiler, obviously you don't have to fake it. But I know, like, for example, I tend to smile all the time. That's not one that's hard for me. There are some that are hard for me that, for example, asking interest, like really asking questions of other people. But my husband, Roger, he is so good at asking questions. He wants to know more about people. He wants to learn about them and he asks questions. And I'll find myself in situations with him a lot, even people we know really well, people we don't know, where we're excited to talk about something that we know we both are like love or interested in. We'll be talking and he'll ask them a deeper question about what they just said. And then he'll go even deeper. And I'm thinking, he is so good at that. And it always reminds me, I want to be better at asking people questions. Because as soon as he asks the question, I'm thinking, that's a cool question. I'm interested in that answer. Yeah, what do you think about that? But I'm so busy and excited about all the things I'm doing or what we're talking about that I don't pause to think, what do I want to know more about that person? So when you're doing, and so he's great at that. But guess what? One thing he struggles with is smiling. Sometimes he'll smile, but when like there are times in his life when he'll go back to, I haven't been smiling very much. I want to be better at that. I want to smile and show positive reinforcement for the relationship. And that's something that he works on. But I'll tell you, when you smile, when you're talking to someone, even if you're on the phone, they can feel it. Endorphins happen. Lots of things happen in the physiological part of your body, which are really healthy, by the way. But what happens when you smile in a relationship is people feel more cared about. They feel like you're interested in them and they become more interested in you. And the 7th one is add value. Be helpful. Add something to the relationship. If you're not adding anything of value, then they're not going to be interested in having a relationship with you. You will not be an influencer. You need to add value to people's lives, not because you're scraping and gnawing and, oh, I want them to think I'm good. No, because I have something to contribute to your life and I want to contribute that because that's the thing that I'm good at that can help your life be better. And you all have something to contribute to mine. You make my life better. Honestly, even the people who give me flack because they help me either learn to be more patient about it, learn to get over it quicker. Now I'm to the point where when I see stuff, I look at it, it's helpful. I want to know if that's something I need to work on. And then I'm on to the next thing. If it's something I need to work on, good. I'll add it to my repertoire of the things that I'm trying to gain those skills. I can apologize where I need to apologize, but I'm not going to hold on to that and be all hurt and be all worried. Now I'm sure there will be a time when something even bigger than I've ever dealt with comes my way. And then I'll have to deal with that when that comes. And that's the way it will be. But guess what? If I'm adding value and I know I'm adding value, then I start to gain a confidence as I do all of these things. I will become more of an influencer, which means I get to help change more people's lives. So look at those 7 and just remember, if you don't want to influence others, you can't lead. You have something inside you that can contribute to other people's lives. And I know that you can add that. You can create that value in all of the relationships that you have.